part of the chronic illness series.
If you guys don't know, we are going to go into an in-depth review and explain what our chronic health issues are. And not just what we have, but in general, what narcolepsy is, how Crohn's disease is, POTS, everything about it. I hope you guys enjoy this new series that we're doing.
So stay tuned. So for today's vlog, guys, we will be talking about chronic hives. Another one of the chronic illness to go with the chronic illness series. We have many more chronic illnesses that we do talk about and that we do go through, so check them out in the description box.
And again, guys, we know everyone says it to you. Please like, share, subscribe. It truly means a lot to us, and it really does help our channel get that much further, that much out there, so more and more people can find our channel and we can try to spread as much awareness as possible.
Chronic hives is a sudden red and itchy patches that develop on your skin out of nowhere. Can start mild, but then escalate to hives and cover all parts of your body.
Now, anything can really be a trigger to chronic hives. It can be pain medication, insects or parasites, an infection, just scratching yourself, heat or cold, stress, sunlight, exercise, alcohol or food, and pressure on your skin. These are all different types of triggers that can start this hives. And again, it starts as a mild red itchy patch and it can develop into hives all over your body.
Sadly for me, we don't truly know what triggers, but I can let you know that me and Paul have had our ups and downs.
Yeah.
Thinking it was one thing, in reality it was not. So I have touched certain plants and broke out into hives, but then when I retouched them again,
nothing.
And then of course scratching. Just Paul even notices once I started scratching, he's like, stop scratching! Because just that apparently can make it worse.
I'm itchy now.
Stress does make it also happen, pop out, but like I said, not in all cases. Stress doesn't make it always pop out. At a certain point, we did thought the sun affected me, but turned out no. So those are the things that I deal with, and I'm still struggling and trying to figure out myself to this very day.
So the symptoms of chronic hives can be patches of red or skin-colored welts, which can appear anywhere in your body, itching, which can get to be very, very severe, painful swelling or angioedema of the lips, eyelids, and the inside of your mouth and throat. A tendency for signs and symptoms to flare with triggers are such as heat and exercise and stress.
Now, once again, for me, I do experience this. We still don't know what triggers it, and we may never know. The way that I was able to get it diagnosed was honestly just taking photos. This is reoccurring. It's not just one and done. So whenever you do have a flare, it's best to mark it down and try to remember what you did possibly the past 24 hours.
Which can be a little, can be a lot.
Exactly. So you're going to have multiple episodes, and my best advice is every time you have an episode, take a picture and the area that it has started on. Keep these records for your doctors. Trust me, it is very much needed. I wasn't taken serious until I actually had photo proof to show, hey, this is reoccurring.
You know, you would say, I break out all over my back. The doctor would be like, okay, well, let me look at your back. It looks pretty clear to me, and there's no signs of any kind of skin damage or anything like that. And they go be like, well, it wasn't that severe then.
Guys, when I went in and got this diagnosis, I was told that about 10% of people who do get diagnosed with this condition don't know what they're allergic to. And I fell in that 10% time. Another way that I got diagnosed was, it wasn't a really diagnosis, but I passed all my allergy tests, environmental and food allergies. And when I did tell my doctor of this, my allergenist, about, hey, I'm having these hives, he didn't believe me. But then when I showed him proof, he was like, okay, this doesn't match up with your test results. Like, seems like you are allergic pretty bad to a bunch of things, but then your blood work, skin work shows something totally opposite. If this is your case, do not feel deterred, guys. Keep fighting for those answers, because you will find a doctor who's willing to take you serious.
Now, some of the treatments can be kind of old-fashioned, such as Benadryl to help the itchiness. You can also get some topical creams called hydrocortisone, and those will also help the inflammation as well as the itchiness. You can even do something like ice packs, put it on the patches or places that you are having hives and everything. It'll help numb the skin, help with inflammation, as well as you won't feel as itchy because the skin's all nice and numb. So it sounds bad, it's kind of a rudimentary, old-fashioned type of treatment because don't really know what's causing it to really go into depth for it.
So for right now, my treatment is literally I take Benadryl in the morning and Benadryl at night. You may wonder if this affects my narcolepsy. Oddly, yeah, Benadryl doesn't do that to me because I've taken it for such a long time. If I miss a dose of Benadryl, then I oddly start getting a reaction.
Yeah.
So for me right now, Benadryl does keep it at bay, and it's not to the point of anaphylaxis.
Yeah, and she just takes like a low dose, and she doesn't take it every 4 hours, every 6 hours, at most every 12 hours, and that really does help curb it, where she has very little reactions at all, if any at all, within a month. So thankfully it's working for right now, and it's okay.
Now there are some days that possibly taking Benadryl orally doesn't work, and we've had that in the past. So I've actually been prescribed Pepcid and IV Benadryl that I do through my port. And that does help me curb when that reaction is just being very persistent.
Now, the doctors that you would see for this, obviously number one is a allergenist. So that they can try to see if maybe you need prescription strength medication. There's also you can get shots of antihistamines,
Xolair shots.
Xolair. You can get some anti-inflammatory shots like cortisone, stuff like that, and try to see if that's the way you need. You can also see an endocrinologist because you possibly may have an overactive or an underactive thyroid. And sometimes the allergenist can bring in a dermatologist because that, skin can go hand in hand, but most of the time it will be handled by an allergenist.
For me, it affects me pretty badly because the last time I had a really bad allergic reaction, which sadly I did ignore because I thought it would just go away on its own, I ended up in the ER. And I was told that even scratching, I shouldn't do at all.
If you don't know, when you scratch, that releases histamines in your body. That's why you have to take an antihistamine like Benadryl or some other kind of allergy medication. Yeah, she kept scratching and just tried to ignore it, be like, oh, it'll be fine, it'll go away on its own, and it got pretty bad. So
for me, honestly, it really hurts my body when it does affect. I do feel burning, itching, sharp stabbing pains when they do hit in certain parts of my body. It does affect me a lot, mainly in my chest, as well as, I feel like mainly my chest, I get it a lot more.
Chest is where it usually starts showing redness here and stuff like that. That's usually for you. As far as how it affects me, it freaks me the hell out.
Guys, Paul has a lot of stress, freaks out, I feel bad.
It freaks me out because I just don't want it to turn into something worse or anaphylaxis where she can't breathe. Her port isn't accessed, we can't do IV Benadryl, you have to take a shot of liquid Benadryl. For those of you who do not know, liquid Benadryl acts faster than taking a pill. So we always have liquid Benadryl with us, and I just don't want it to get to the point where she takes the liquid Benadryl, 10 minutes go by, she's still not feeling the benefits of it, and EpiPen, hospital, stuff like that. Especially nowadays with this Rona, who she's roaming in the streets.
Oh my god, leave Rona alone, okay?
Rona's the cause of a lot of suffering and pain right now. So it just freaks me out a little bit, and even though there's not really anything to freak out about, it's never reached the point of anaphylaxis, thankfully. But it's still just always in the back of my mind. So as soon as she says, hey, I think I'm having a reaction, I'm like, let's go get it, go. Like, I'm freaking out, and I just don't want her to be in pain or discomfort either. And honestly, having those itchiness like that happened to me once. Still never figured out why I got that reaction. Remember, we were in the movie theaters?
Yeah,
and I had to put hydrocortisone all over my body, take Benadryl. It was horrible, but yeah.
The misconceptions that I have definitely dealt with in the past because of my condition and my sister is you must be allergic to something. Sadly, with chronic hives, like I said before, you really just don't know. And it seems like when you have an anaphylactic, they're like on top of it. What are you allergic to? If you say nothing, then they kind of discredit you automatically. Another issue that I have with this condition is, once again, some people actually don't take it as serious. They think, oh, it's just patchy skin, you're fine. But in my case, sadly, I have thought like that. I have brushed it off, and yeah, that was the time we had to go to the ER because of it. Because I went to bed, I did feel itchy, but I just wanted to brush it off and be like, I'm fine, it'll go away on its own. Then that's when I woke up to my eyes swollen, my lips swollen. I mean, I woke up tall and I was like, do I look fine? I feel weird. Did I look beautiful?
Bruh.
I didn't look so good, apparently.
Oh, buddy, I was like, okay, hospital now. Yeah, that's the better choice.
Alright guys, so I hope we were able to educate you guys and also spread awareness on this condition called chronic hives. It is something that does affect many people, and it is brushed off. So if you guys know somebody who has it, or you feel like you are experiencing it, take it serious. Don't wait. Don't wait until you literally need an EpiPen to finally look for help. So guys, if you guys want to know any more information, check the description box for sure for any helpful information. So guys, for now, adieu and goodbye.